People, Deluded, I'm back again. Good morning, and I hope you're all doing well and safe. Quick video, I'm not going to be here long, but as you lot have seen, or I don't know if you're aware, last night it was confirmed that another Arsenal player would be heading out on loan. There's a lot of talk of Reece Nelson ironically going on loan, but academy defender Mark McGuinness has joined Ipswich Town on a season-long loan. Personally, I'm very proud for the lad. As you know, he's clearly given a good account of himself. For me anyways, I think he's given a good account of himself for a number of years. I think listen, not everyone's a wonder kid and not everybody's this and that. I'm not trying to discredit him, but I feel he's one of them defenders that hasn't been getting the hype because people are not watching Arsenal's academy. I don't know how far he can go, but I think he's a decent defender. He's relatively decent on the ball with his feet. Obviously there's a lot of things he needs to improve, like you even saw in the friendly against MK Dons. He scored a powerful header, but there was some naiveties, not just him, but also Bowler at left back. And that's why they need to be exposed to senior football. He's alright with his passing range. He's a bit of an old school defender, put his body on the line. He's had an unlucky time with a couple of injuries, but if he stays fit, I think Ipswich fans will fall in love with him. And for me, I think it's a great opportunity for him. Like, forgive me if I'm wrong, Ipswich are in the Championship. With all due respect to the other young players, because everyone's situation is different and they're all making advancements. He's got a Championship loan. A couple men are doing up League One. So he's going to play against some good sides with some good forwards. He's going to learn a lot. He's going to have to learn a lot. There's going to be some strikers he's going to try and physically outmuscle. It's not going to happen. Some men are going to be too quick for him. Some players are going to just, be out of the game for 89 minutes. You switch off, they've scored the winner in the 90th. And that's what young players, especially young defenders, need to learn. He needs to learn to be street smart. He needs to learn to adapt his game. He needs experience to senior football. And obviously he's been making good progress for his country at youth level as well. And at 19, you don't have to be the finished article, but he needs to get football. I couldn't be prouder of him on going on this loan spell. It looks like his pathway, just like any young defender right now at Arsenal, is blocked. We've just brought in Saliba and Gabriel. I know Saliba was bought last year. You've got Mavropanos who's on loan, but probably ahead of him and several others in the pecking order. You've still got David Luiz, Mustafi, Socrates, etc. on the wage books. So it's very unlikely that you could even go as far as to say Kieran Tierney might play ahead of him at centre-half. So the pathway for a lot of defenders right now is blocked. I think we're quite low on centre-back options at under 23s level now, and that will present a couple of opportunities to under 18s and second and first year sort of certain players that are not eligible for under 18, so it's their first year in 23s. It will open up a lot. Like for me, Daniel Bellard, he's just turned 20 or so, I believe. He needs to go out on loan. Like, he went to Swindon last year, got injured, it was unfortunate. But like Medley, like McGuinness, he needs to go out on loan and be exposed to senior football, because I don't think anyone's going to learn anything from 23s. Of course, you might play occasionally players that have been frozen out at first team level. You might play against them, or when it's Arsenal versus Spurs or Arsenal versus Chelsea, these games are quite tough. But 9 times out of 10, you're not learning enough. And they need to be selfish. Harry Clark as well, he had a great season last year. I actually want him to stay at 23s level because we need him. But if I'm selfish, if I'm him, go out on loan. These players need to do what they can do to dramatically be a better player a year from now. And, the cynic in me says put yourself in the shop window. McGuinness indirectly did that. Is it any coincidence that he signed for a team that he was man of the match arguably against when we played them at under 23s, technically under 21 level, Arsenal versus Ipswich in the EFL Trophy a couple of weeks ago? So they saw firsthand what he's on, and they thought, yeah, you know what, let's see how available he is at Arsenal, I'll have him. And he put himself in the shop window. If he didn't play well, he might not be on loan at Ipswich. He's got to put himself in the shop window. I'm sure he wants to stay at Arsenal and make it at Arsenal like everybody. And I want everybody to make it and everyone to get a fair opportunity. But the dynamics of the game at all first teams, in all clubs, top clubs, Championship, Premier League, it goes against young players. He might get an opportunity, the landscape might change, but there's a lot of centre-halves. So the cynic in me is saying, put yourself in the shop window. You're in the Championship, you've put yourself in the shop window and got a loan spell. Can you play to the form to convince Ipswich to take you permanently, or convince another Championship team to convince you permanently, or even maybe a Premier League team? Put yourself in the shop window, or even show Arsenal that, why did we let him go out on loan? He was right under our noses. He can help us, sort of thing. So I'm happy for him to go out on loan. Like I said, man, I want to see all these boys improve and whatnot. And I listen, there's a lot of work to be done in relation to transfers coming in and out of this club at first team level. But Mertesacker and everybody connected with him at academy level, I think they've got it spot on. Like, the only thing I've got an issue of, and it's not really an issue, is that Balogun's future's not resolved, you know. Greenwood wanted to leave, alright, cool, you're gone. If Balogun wants to leave, alright, cool, let's keep it moving. We've sorted out loan homes for, you know, Medley, Coyle, Tutu, Swanson, Shave, now McGuinness. I'm probably missing Mavropanos technically. I know he's first team. I'm probably Tyrese John Jules, Coyle, if I haven't said it. You know, they're all going out on loan and trying to do what they can because they're all of that age where they need to get senior football. You look at Robbie Burton leaving to go to Dynamo. He wanted more first team football. I don't know how he's getting on there. You know, Nathan Tormey rejected a 3-year deal at Arsenal, and I think he's on loan. He's on trial at Rangers. Sorry. So clearly, you know, that age group, they're realizing, you know, if I want to be a better footballer, 23s isn't going to help me. Like, it's not going to help me. And what you don't want to do is be one of these footballers, which happens at these top clubs. You know, they'll sign a deal, they'll play 23s, they'll be part of it, and by the time they're 21 or so, they're thrown out. And then they're on that circuit of aimlessly trialing at clubs. Of course, people will entertain you if you've been at Arsenal and a couple of clubs, but sooner or later, they're going to look for some substance. So obviously, for me, you know, like everybody, McGuinness has to look at this loan spell as, you know, it's a good, it's advancement. I'm going to be exposed to consistent football I wasn't already. Ipswich are not going to care that I was a young player and I'm a young Arsenal lad. The fans and the club are just seeing the centre-half. It's going to help me dramatically improve. You know, it's going to put me in the shop window to tell Arteta, yo, you know, David Luiz Mustafi got a contract running out in the next year. Soccer artist the same. Can I be part of your plans? You know, do you need Chambers and Holding when you've got me, sort of thing? Then obviously the cynic is like, okay, the pathway at Arsenal's blocked. Ipswich might take me permanently and my career started, or I might go somewhere else. You know, there's a couple of stories. You know, you look at Luke Ayling, part of the FA Youth Cup winning side a few years ago. He went on off to have a decent career, and now he's back in the Premier League. You know, we bought Semi Ajayi from Charlton. I think he left to go Cardiff, and now he's playing for West Brom in the league. You know, Kyle Bartley, you know, he played a bit calam in his last appearance, but is he not at West Brom? Former Arsenal and Bolton lad as well. So there are some players that go off and have decent careers. You know, not everyone has to make it here, but you need to put yourself in the shop window. And for me anyways, if I'm a manager and I want to know how experienced the centre-half is, if I was a manager, I'm more likely to actually give young, this is speaking for me personally, I'm more likely to give young strikers an opportunity than a centre-half if I'm in the Championship and all of them things, because the dynamic of that league, I don't think it's got time for a play thing. The striker might give you some random bursts of energy and whatnot, but centre-halves are naive. So the quicker you can gain, you know, people will look past your age and your inexperience and see you're a competent option, the more, you know, the better future you'll have sooner rather than later. But, you know, congratulations to Mark McGuinness on his loan spell. Ipswich is a good club with a good following, and we've got a good manager in place. Hopefully it works all out for him. And it's been a, you know, after scoring in the friendly against MK Dons, the powerful header, it's been a decent one for him, man. So, like with the rest of the youth players, I wish him all the best, man. But in relation to what I have to say, I'm finished, people. DG.